Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to Lundi the Monday Puffin. If you've never been here, hello stranger, it's great to have you here. My name is Frida Martins. I am an artist with multiple disabilities from Germany living in Iceland, and I just trust that the right people will come to my table when they are interested in cameras that don't hold steady and in like really raw, unfiltered videos from my reality with disabilities, spiced with stories about Iceland. And on Mondays, I am always talking about something with birds or something with Iceland because I find it really funny that the Icelandic word for puffin spells exactly the same way as the French word for Monday. And we do have an Alliance Française, like a French culture club that also provides language classes and film festivals and all that. But let's say their headquarters are so not disability accessible. And I've talked to the people in question about it. So this is not a complaining video. This is a video about like some places. As much as I love Reykjavik and its old houses, just don't work with my disabilities. I essentially can't walk upstairs anymore, or if I'm up there, then I am up there for a lot of hours. Which is not to say we should remove all those old houses, but we should actually invent as a community like solutions that work for everybody but don't disrupt the spirit of the old house. Like a couple of years ago, I often attended like a writers club where the group actually tried a fundraiser for like making an external lift into a old house that was, I think, also protected as a national conservation site. Now that this came to my mind, I might also want to talk about ramps and wheelchair as accessibility in general, because I'm following so much German Instagram stuff, actually also to help the folks with the visibility a little bit. And there are a lot of posts about like a German law of equality that is being reformed to the effect. Okay, and now don't quote me on this because I'm not good with laws, but like most of those postings convey that the old obligation to actually make buildings accessible is more or less cancelled because like the bigger system rather listens to companies who say this is too expensive. And here I can contrast that with my Iceland experience. Like, if anyone needs to know, I moved to Iceland because I found myself more at home in a smaller community where I get more personalized service and where I actually can live my belief in nature spirits. And indeed, this is a nature bound but also very capitalist country. Like when you can capitalize on nature, then suddenly the nature gets interesting to everybody, and like mostly when you can lead tourists to this nature. But there is a local businessman. I forgot his name, and I try to avoid saying names on YouTube. He did something really clever with IT, so he became really rich, but he was in a wheelchair. It's my understanding that the wheelchair just came in the course of this man's life. And so he said, I want to put my money to a really good cause. Like not as in charity, but in something practical. And there came the project Römpum Up Reykjavik. Like As Rampa is probably, now I get this word teenage rampage in my mind, like the song from the 60s, but this with this verb the person meant that we should build ramps, like, and Icelandic deflects really strongly, like we are ramping with such a umlaut thing. Like these umlaut thingies are really common in Icelandic. Maybe I should make a special video about them. Like they exist in German too, but in Icelandic 10 times as much. Even in words where like German, the newer Germanic language has already dropped them a lot. Okay, anyway, with Rumpum up Reykjavik, we are building ramps all over the place. That is a cool idea. I would say it is actually more for awareness where the people would not get in without the ramp, because I tried some of these fine ramps and then I was like, oops, like in the front of the house there is a ramp, but then there comes a sort of a gawking hole that a person on foot would totally be able to overstep, but not Ferdy the walker and not Geraldine the wheelchair. So, as many things in Iceland, this is sorrily not thought through to the end. But let's think it through to the end, because let's say, okay, I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user. I can alternate between like sticks and wheelchair and walking trolley. But not all people can do that. And like, for instance, there was a very small store that you basically only found when you knew where it was. And it was sort of like a little bit of an insider community. When I stepped into this for the first time, my friend who showed me the store said, "Do you need the trolley?" Why? Yeah, because the store is narrow, because the store is teeny tiny. But actually now I'm regularly going to this store, and now I made myself an Easter gift, so to say, paintbrush markers. I mean, I didn't make them, but I gave myself the gift. Me and my grammar, when I'm tired, outside is like orange alert for bad weather. And actually, my friend brought it to my attention today that this can have a negative influence on my muscles. And yeah, let's say my ability to go to the loo in the right time is very, very limited today. And let's say I already had to throw out an artwork that suffered from such an accident. So I am actually kind of in my mind now singing "Here Comes the Sun, It's All Right," because maybe I can sing the song into existence, sing the sun into existence. But yeah, to me personally, accessibility means communication. Like that people actually tell me that, like, would a regular wheelchair fit through the door? Is there a ramp, or is there a small step that I can maybe conquer with help? Do I kind of need to bring an extra person like tomorrow? And I hope the storm will be over. Then the storm is over, the storm is over. Then I can see the sunshine. This is an event where I know the location and where I also know I have to bring a wheelchair. I mean, in an ideal world, I would also bring a person to push the wheelchair, but this may not be doable. Because the nature of the event calls for rotating between rooms, which actually my head can zero do when I have to walk. Like, because then all my energy to readjust to the room went into the feet, and that's so yes. But why am I saying this? Because inclusion is communication. Because let's say when the people did that really haphazardly at the last such event, I was so tired, and that energy could have gone into something else. And I have learned over the years that I need to tell people my needs while they are still small, so that can't turn into like a huge issue in the end. And let's say, yeah, even when there is a ramp, it's a good start, because then you have an idea what to do, what you could do next, because then there is probably a person saying, okay, this ramp is not for my wheelchair, or this ramp is like too wiggly or whatnot. Here this puffin is dancing and wiggling. And yes, I think I decided to include like the moth, because the flight pattern of the puffin looks a little bit like a silk moth. But I actually tried to Google when is the puffin coming, because the puffin is a migratory bird. And I Googled that in Icelandic, and Google didn't tell me in Icelandic. But Google told me a fun fact that I didn't know. Like 2-year-old puffin guys still have a grayish face. So they are called kólapiltar, coal guys. And actually the other day I learned also that like this orange part falls off when mating season is over. Probably sort of like one of my fingernails fell off after some weeks when I actually got my finger into a car door. Don't try this at home. But actually that also meant a little bit of quality time with my granddad, who was still alive back in the day, Opa, who I sometimes mention on YouTube, because Opa always needed to put a waterproof band-aid over this grotesque finger thing until the nail regrew, because I still attended swimming lessons at the time. And actually, I think their OPA did a good service of inclusion, because that means I could still participate and could still take my finger seriously and still keep my movements going and develop a better body feeling. So now I'm doing the puffin dance, and like this is the migratory bird that is announcing the spring. Loa, the golden plover. Like I have a physiotherapist with an odd sense of humor, so sometimes he's pulling my legs physically and saying Loa, Loa, Loa. So I have something nice to look forward to. Bye bye.